Okay, let's go.
Puki Jukshin Metok Drum Rira Lingshin Yende Gempandi Sangye Shindu Mikte Uwargi Jokun Namda Shingla Chuparsho Yam Guru Ratna Mandala Gambhiryatayami Chudam Soki Chonam La Chamchun Pardu Dagni Kapsushi Dagi Shinyen Gibe Sunam Ki Jola Tenshir Sangye Druparsho Chudam Soki Chonam La Chamchu Pardu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gibe Sunam Ki Jola Penchir Sangye Druparsho Chudam Soki Chonam La Chamchu Pardu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gibe Sunam Ki Jola Penchir Sangye Druparsho.
Okay. So we're at a place where we are trying to prove.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. The
Substantialness of substanding.
Well, it seems to be that we're kind of referring to lower middle way and mind only guys. It seems like they want to say there is a kind of a solid me because there's the consciousness at the end of the line, or there's the foundation consciousness. Okay, so there is part of all of my parts. There's one part which is so solid it could count as me, and I believe that's the substantial here. So the consciousness at the end of the line, the awareness of all the other consciousnesses, is called Yiki number Shepa, right? Awareness of your thoughts, awareness of your mind. So that's kind of at the back of everything, okay? There's nothing aware of it, okay? It's just the silent witness of thoughts going by and impressions going by. It's the watcher, okay? And there's nothing behind it. Or so that's lower middle way. Or you could say the core of Michael is Michael's storehouse where all Michael's seeds are living. Okay, so when you teach DCI to people, I think they sort of naturally start to believe in a kunshi without talking about kunshi. You keep saying over and over things are coming from your seeds, and then in their minds forms this little blob inside of their brain where all these seeds are sitting. Okay, I mean, we don't talk about it, but people start to feel like that. There must be like a little area of my mind that's about 3 inches wide, and all the seeds are staying there. And then, you know, my husband's coming out of there. And okay, so that in these schools is called substantial. Either the consciousness at the end of the line, or that little blob in the middle of the head. Okay, then we have to prove why that's not a self-nature. Okay, why that's not a self-existent me. Okay, and then we're gonna do that. That we're gonna deny that kind of ze, that kind of substantial thing or solid thing. We're trying to deny it. So we're gonna do it in 2 steps. We're gonna give a reason, and then we're gonna prove the relationships within that reason, the 3 relationships. Take this coffee, it's better than the last one because it's, I don't know, made well, or something like that, okay? So the 3 relationships are?
first? Is the
One is
reason
three.
true of the
One is
subject?
three.
Three
Coffee's
one.
made well. Okay. Then if 3, 2. If it's made well,
Tastes
it's better than the other ones. And if it's not better than the others, it's not made well. Not 2, not 3. If the second relationship holds, the third one must. There's no case in the universe in which if the second relationship holds, the third one doesn't. You know. So when you study logic more deeply, you will see that, and you'll wonder why they made 3. And it's just sort of a reconfirmation, okay? It's not a new thing. It's not new information. If 3, 2 is the same as if not 2, then not 3. Okay, it's the same thing, but it's just tradition that we reconfirm, okay? So anyway, what we're expecting here now is a formal proof. Someone's gonna, how many parts to a formal proof?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. If you
Yeah, I
want
like
to
you
put
say
example.
4. Yeah, good. If you give it senshi. Okay, so take blah blah, it's blah blah, because blah blah, it's like blah blah. So the one I didn't mention yet, there's people like Sagan who knew to logic, Buddhist logic. You can often give a fourth part, which is you compare it to something else that people accept. Okay, so take sound, it's changing because it's made, it's like a coffee cup. You say it's like a blah blah. So there's 4 parts. When you're proving your relationships, you don't worry about this one. You know, you're just talking 1, 2, 3. Okay. How come we're not trying to establish the relationship between 1 and 2?
Because 2 is what we're trying to prove about 1. So
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
1 is 2 is what you're trying to prove.
Yeah.
So relationship, when we say relationship, it means something the opponent already recognizes. Something the opponent already accepts, okay? And the only thing they don't accept is that 1 is 2 because that's what you're trying to prove. Okay, so we don't call it a relationship. Not in the 3 relationships. Okay, and they all have names in the study of logic. Drupja, Drupje-che, Chokche, Jekyap, Dokyap, Senshin Namdak, Senpei Yangdak. They all have their own names, okay? And you should learn them someday.
Those are the names of the relationships?
Huh?
Those are the names of the relationships?
Well, the 3 relationships are Chokche, Jekyap, and Dokyap. What you're trying to prove is Drupja.
Yeah.
The quality you're trying to prove is Drupje-che. The subject about the quality is called the Chichen Namdat. The reason it's called Daryandat. The example is called Tumpe Yangdat. Okay, they all have their own names.
Cool.
Logic words. Okay. Okay. Anyway, here's our proof, and it's going to have 4 parts because we're going to have a
example.
Senpei, say Senpei Yangdat.
Senpei Yangdak.
Okay. Tumpe Yangdat.
Senpei Yangdak.
Okay, you can say it that way. Okay. Okay, misspelled to start with. Ram. And you can't blame the typists. Okay, I could do a statistic vote for you, but it's certainly 1,000 to 1 between RGYA and RKYA. You can't blame them for correcting RKYA, which only happens here in 1 million pages, and RGYA, which happens on many, like 1 out of 5 pages. Okay. So somebody can run it if you're in the mood. Don't forget to put a space after it, and a space before it. Okay, so our example, okay, the Chichen is, let's consider the self, which appears to be self-standing. Okay. Let's talk about the self-nature, which appears to be self-standing. We're discussing 2 kinds of self right now. What were they again?
Substantial in the sense of being self-standing.
No,
The kunshi,
kunshi and the yiki
Namba
Namba
Shenpa.
Shenpa. The awareness of your thoughts and your seed credit bank account. Seed bank account. Okay? Those two.
1,000 to 87,000.
1,000 to 87,000. 1 to 100. Okay.
Kya,
All right.
kya.
Yeah. By the way, this one only got that many points because it also means oar of a boat. I believe. Or SKY. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's take the self, which appears to be self-standing. What is it referred to?
The kunshi.
Yiki Namba Shenpa or Kunshi? It appears like they don't lean on anybody behind them. So you get this more appreciation for what self-standing means here. You see, everybody else is relying on Kunshi Namba Shenpa, right? Their seeds, your husband, your job, your foot, they're all flowing out of, they go back to, they rely on Kunshi Namba Shenpa. All your thoughts, all your impressions, all your memories, all your perceptions, they come back to the witness, okay? But the witness doesn't rest on anybody. And the seed bank account doesn't rest on anybody. Okay, got it? So you get a feeling for what Rankya Tupa means here. Self-standing. What does self-standing mean?
Doesn't have
The
any-
buck stops here. I'm not leaning on anybody else. Okay? I'm me. I'm the core of Michael. The rest is flowing out of that core. Okay? And the rest rests on that core. But the core is self-standing. It's not waiting for somebody else. Okay? So I want you to get a feeling for what self-standing means here. It refers to those two guys. They're not waiting for someone else. They're the end of the road. They're the big boss. The buck stops here. Harry Truman. Okay.
For the part, you translated that rock as to be, and is that because there is no such thing? Because if
No,
we said it
this
as
R is
substantial,
as
if we said it is as
appears-
substantial, doesn't that like give
appears
some
to
idea
be.
it does exist?
Yeah. Well, no. You see, I can say take the mirage that appears to be water.
Right.
You can say that. When
Oh,
you
yeah,
say
no, that makes
appears,
sense. I'm just
then the water is already false. You see what I mean? Okay. Yeah. Do you have to use one of those could be or would be or might be? Not here because you use the word appears. Okay. This
but-
already implies falsity.
right. I'm just thinking that for sometimes raw doesn't always mean as, because if we used as, it would be giving a different message,
Well, you can say as though it were,
as though it were.
if you wanted to be
Okay.
sure that people got it. Pumbo dan seni mitumbirangya to be Dr. Mebe. Now you have a new element here. This is the number 2 of the proof, right? It's the second element of proof. It's the quality we're trying to prove. What's the quality we're trying to prove? It doesn't exist as a self-nature, which is self-standing, and which is tseni mitumba
With Puma.
from the parts of the person. You
Doesn't
see?
contradict the parts of a person.
Well, tseni means definition, right? Mitumba means not
Harmony.
in accord, okay? And we're going to have trouble translating this word, this term, this phrase. Try to think of it as soul. How soul relates to your body and mind. When you're a kid, mom says, if I die before I wake, pray the Lord my soul to take. Body will die, mind will be gone, and then soul is somehow,
Essentially separate from?
yeah, good. Something like that. Essentially inconsistent with the stuff of the 5 heaps. Okay? Okay? Not only is it self-standing, it's of an entirely different nature. Okay? Which is even inconsistent with the nature of the five heaps. Okay? This is inconsistent, right? Inconsistent with the nature of the five heaps. Okay? It must be some kind of stuff. Soul must be some kind of stuff which is totally foreign to the five heaps. Okay? Alright? And when I was a kid, it was made of crystal and it looked like a marble. And it was about this big, made of glass or something. And it definitely wasn't skin or blood or bones or thoughts. It was kind of made of crystal and it lived inside of me. You see, that's what they're getting at here. What is it referred to in this case? The place where my seeds live, or the witness, who's behind all that stuff, watching all that stuff, and somehow eternal, and somehow unchanging, and somehow unaffectable. Okay, self-standing. If all that stuff went away, soul would still be there. It's like God. Anyway, okay, you got the feeling. So don't forget Seni Mitumba. What inconsistent with the nature of. Okay, that's second part. Okay, don't forget. Maybe we should even number them. I don't know. Let's number them for right now. Just because we're going to have to say it in not one, but two, stuff like that. Okay, it'll make our life easier. Pumbo Daurangya Tupe, Chik Daurangya Tupe, Tade Karun de Madupe Chir. It doesn't exist as either one thing, how do you say? It isn't self-standingly one with the heaps, and it isn't self-standingly different from the heaps. It's not the same thing as the five parts in a self-standing way, and it's not a different thing than the five parts in a self-standing way. It's very similar. This logic is very similar to
Adam's text.
Chiktuda. It's very similar to the proof of one or many. Because you have to say self-existent one or self-existent many. Okay? Okay, got it? So instead of just replace self-existent with self-standing. It's not self-standingly, it's not the same as the five heaps in a self-standing way. And it's not different from the five heaps in a self-standing way. Okay?
Great Bangura. I'm sorry.
By the way, when you talk about soul, which one are you thinking? In the one I just described, when I'm a little kid and mom says if you die, your soul's going to go to... No, which of these two? Do I... Yeah, I feel like it's separate. It's a self-standing, separate from my body and mind. Because mom said, if you die, your mind stops, your body stops, but this doesn't stop. So I think it must be the second one here. It must be separate, self-standing separate, okay? But to be thorough, he's going to use both. It's like saying neither one nor many, because that way you cover all possibilities. If something is neither one nor many, it definitely doesn't exist. Okay, got it? Okay? So this is one of those proofs where you use two possibilities which are called all-inclusive opposites. Like Adam's just been doing all morning. Dakpa and Mitakpa cover everything. Everything has to be Dakpa or Mitakpa. If it's not Dakpa or Mitakpa, it cannot exist. Okay? So either this self is separate from my body and mind, or it's somewhere in my body and mind. In both cases, in a self-standing way. Okay, got it? All right. Then we say, then the Tumpe Yandak is pretty weird. What is it?
To take antlers of a rabbit, as Adam translated it.
I like that.
That's a very nice translation. That's a really nice translation. Yeah. Because antler is so foreign to rabbits. Like horn you could almost imagine. But antler is a great translation.
That's cool.
It evokes the jackalope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend Jewel is there.
Okay, here's one of the rare usages of an author. Okay, it's called author. You got a piece of paper? I got a piece of paper. Okay. So this is this. You have ka. Okay, and it's called a author, and they say it's a small. Some people say it's an and you chop this off,
I thought it was a wa.
and it got put here.
Oh, I see.
Really? I thought it was a wall.
I thought it was a
No,
wa.
well, some say wasser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay, so
what I
that's
was
wa,
thought.
and you cut this part off,
That's what I
and
was
you put
talking
it
about.
here. Okay. So some people call it author, some people call it wasser. You can do a vote. Z-U-R after W-A, or Z-U-R after apostrophe.
Because there's an achung too, right?
That's a
Well,
separate
that's-
thing. Yeah.
But
Is it a wasser or an author? Take a vote.
okay, how am I doing?
Apostrophe A space Z-U-R.
Apostrophe
To go first.
A space
Space apostrophe A space.
with space apostrophe
Sorry.
A space apostrophe A Z-U-R
Space Z-U-R.
space apostrophe
No, space apostrophe A space Z-U-R.
space apostrophe A
Space Z-U-R.
Z-U-R. Okay.
And then just do
space.
W-A, tab.
Okay.
W, no, I'm sorry, different U. Then W-A-Z-U-R.
Okay. W-A.
And I'll, wait, I'm going to
Isn't it
predict
VA?
50-50. I'm going to say people disagree equally.
All right.
Wow.
I'm hoping it's Wasserchem.
Me too.
Because
That's what I
that's what I've been thinking for a very long time. For that
I
reason.
think that's how they
For-
usually teach it.
What did I
I
say?
guess. So.
For wassers,
Frame this
That's
right?
how I
Is the
did it.
rounding up?
That's what I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Whoa.
for wassers
To
and no
know
authors.
Osers. What's up, Nick?
All right.
That doesn't mean it's right, it just means more people think it.
We could probably find like Lexi Junwang somewhere in here and then check it out. He doesn't go through that stuff, does he?
Who?
Yang Chenjube Dorje.
He does.
He does.
Yeah, you could take, search in the grammar if you want. But anyway, if it's not in the whole database, it's not in the grammar.
Right.
Okay,
Do it later.
There's a ring to that.
you could try the Dengyer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bernard, and you could try the on-catalog data.
That's what
Okay,
you want me to do.
until I'm right. Okay, for example, there's your Tumbe Young Dog, okay? Now the Tumbe Young Dog is supposed to be something which has the qualities expressed in 2 and 3. Okay? The classic example, the similar example, is supposed to possess the qualities expressed in 2 and 3. We don't say 2 and 3, we have to say the qualities expressed in 2 and 3. Take out the yin, take out the mayin, take out the yu, take out the me. It's supposed to have the qualities of, okay, so what's this quality?
Something that's essentially
Is-
distinct.
Inconsistent.
from
Is
the-
a rabbit antlers a self, which is self-standing and is essentially distinct from,
It's parts.
it's inconsistent with the nature of the heaps. Is a rabbit's horns inconsistent with the nature of the 5 parts of body and mind? Sometimes I like to translate.
Yeah.
Nowadays I'm thinking of 5 heaps as body and mind with
Yeah.
no space.
I'd say no, because his horns are on his head.
Uh,
No,
Okay.
I'm trying to understand how.
Because it's a May.
So I must
May
misunderstand number 2.
well, let's see. Number 2 is a self who is self-standing and is of an inconsistent nature with the body and mind. And then this one is either the same as the self-standing and the same as the body and mind, or self-standing and separate from the body and mind. So rabbit horns is supposed to It's supposed to have both those qualities.
But isn't the assertion that it's not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah.
It doesn't.
The two is not.
Yeah.
Okay? You alright?
I don't get it, but that's all right.
No, you did the last
You have to translate.
Yeah, we need you.
No, I can write,
You
I can
translate
write
it.
the words down. That's okay.
If you say Drachichen mitakte chepichir,
But it's
You're
a
not
thing that
boom-
doesn't exist at all.
no, just listen. Drachichen mitate chepichir. Take sound, it's changing because it's made. You take these two qualities, which are
Made.
changing made, and you try to find another thing that has those two qualities, which is a vase or a water pitcher. Okay? Now do the same thing here. A self-standing self, which is inconsistent with the body and mind. Okay? A, like mitakpa. And two, it is either the same as the body and mind or separate from the body and mind.
So the rabbit's horns.
Okay, those are the two qualities.
Yeah.
So the rabbit's horns don't exist, so number 2 is fine.
Yeah. Do they have these two qualities?
No.
Yeah, it's,
I don't think
No.
so.
Rabbit's horns don't have qualities.
nor are they self-standing.
Mebas don't have qualities.
Okay.
Unless we're using it as a funny example because those two things can't exist anyway, so we're just
Let's
coming
keep
up with
going.
one. Okay.
Let's keep going, and then, if you don't understand it by the end, let's come back. Okay? Now, this is an amazing misspelling.
Oh,
Because this is a word.
Oh,
Ah.
Dumbo means,
autumn moon.
circular, and it comes in the monk's robes. It comes in. You're supposed to wear you're supposed to wear
tube.
a toque. It means a toque.
Uh-huh.
You're required to wear a toque. It can't be a piece of cloth that you wrap or something like that. It can't be a lungi. It has to be a toque.
oh,
Okay. So
Lungi's that
Dumbo is a word, and it can also mean to be joined together. And so it took me a while. Because when I got here, I didn't have the carving. Okay, but this is the kind of logic. Okay, say Donda, Mamik Betak.
Mami beta.
Okay, so Mamik Betak means proof that something is not there. Okay, or proof where you use the absence of something to prove that something else is not there. Okay, proof that you use the absence of something, or proof that something is not there. Okay, so Mamik Betak is confusing. Okay, what's Mamikba mean?
not there.
Not there. Okay, so if you say a reason, Mamikbe reason, what does it mean?
It means or because something's not there,
Yeah.
then something
Mhm.
else is X or Y.
Uh,
Because it's not, because of the lack of this.
yeah. Well, there's an ambiguity here. Okay. Does Mamikbe tak mean you're trying to prove that something's not there,
Oh, it sounds like it's just that.
or does it mean it's the absence of something, which if it's absent, the other thing is not there,
That's what
or
it
is
sounds
there?
I think it's that
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go for that one. Okay. So there's two kinds here. Gyeonda mikpa or Gyeonda mamikpa. Say Gyeonda mikpa. Gyeonda mamikpa. Gyeonda mikpa means take this, the color of this liquid. It's not red because it's green. The presence of a color which contradicts another color proves that the other color is not here. Okay? If it's green, it can't be red. Okay? So if you establish that green is here, then you establish that red cannot be here.
Right.
That's called Gyeonda Mikpa. The
Because
presence of a Gyeonda. Gyeonda means a match of one of a pair. The ancient word for husband or wife is dawo or kunda, body match. The honorific for husband or wife is kunda. Okay, And that comes from the idea that the Dawa is the match of the Nima.
The moon of the sun.
The moon is the match of the sun. Okay. You want to go deeper?
Yeah.
So that came to mean the double of the sun. The moon is the double of the sun. Okay. It's called the double. So husband and wife came to be called body double. That's your body double. Okay. Then the repetition of a mantra came to be called doubling. What do you call it?
Dojin Depa.
Dojit Depa.
Depa.
Yeah. Repeating. Okay. So repeating a mantra is called doubling. It comes from the word for moon.
Is it like
Cool.
Depa in Sanskrit or something
Okay.
like that?
Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Huh?
Is it some kind of...
It's a Tibetan thing, yeah. I don't think you can find any Sanskrit. It's Chandra and it's Hatha. Anyway, don't go there. Okay, so either you can say this is green. If it's green, that excludes the possibility that it's red. The presence of green excludes the possibility that it's red. That's called presence of a contradiction double. Okay? Presence of a contradiction double. Okay? Red and green are called contradiction doubles. Okay? If one is present, the other cannot be present. Okay? Okay, got it?
Cool, yeah.
Now the opposite of that is called Danda,
Uh-huh.
which means relationship double. Okay? And if one is present, the other one is present.
Uh-huh. So if one's not present, then the other
If one is missing, the other one cannot be there.
Okay.
Okay? So, if there's no liquid in this cup, there's no
Green.
green drink.
Yeah.
Okay, got it? Those are called Danda. They are doubles, but they are connection doubles. Okay? You say you have disconnection doubles and connection doubles.
So
How's
they don't
that?
have to be exactly the same, because you could say there's liquid, but it's not green drink.
Yeah, you could, yeah. It depends on what order you give them in. Okay? There's no liquid here.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's no green drink here because there's no liquid here.
It depends which one's a subset of the other one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but sometimes they're equal sets. Okay. So anyway, there's two possible relationships here. In your text, it's going to be called Geldelkin Namshan. It's coming in his text. It's called contradiction and relationship.
Cool.
Okay. Red disallows green, but green drink requires liquid. Okay, so green drink and liquid are pairs that have to if one's there, the other has to be there. Okay, if you want to have a green drink there has to be liquid there. Okay, they're called relationship pair.
But it doesn't go both ways.
Well, it could.
Yeah, it could. but it
Mitapa
doesn't
and
have to.
Chepa. Okay, yeah. But green and red,
Make brown.
they're a contradiction pair. Okay? So if you want to prove something's not there, you ready?
Yeah.
Hold on to your seatbelt. If you want to prove something's not there, there's two ways to do it. Number one, prove that the contradiction pair is there, or prove that the relationship pair is not there. I'll kiss you, Stanley, but you're too far away. Okay, got it? Now, this happens to be, so what he says here is the reason that we're using to prove that the consciousness at the end of the line, whether it's foundation consciousness or mental consciousness of your thoughts, what we're using to prove that the consciousness at the end of the line doesn't exist as a self-standing thing, okay? Doesn't exist, is we're using a absence of a relationship pair. There's no liquid, so there cannot be a green drink. Okay? Okay. Now, what's present is the non-existence of a, oh boy. Okay. Anyway, I thought just to get you in the mood, I'll give you the classic Danda Mamikpa. Okay. And this is going to take a couple classes. Just this section, just this page is going to take a couple classes.
No.
I want to give you the classic Janda Mamikpa. What's it mean?
It's
The
the
Something
relationship
doesn't
pair.
exist.
Yeah.
because because a partner
Doesn't exist.
that would be required for it to be there is not there. Okay? If you made a vow never to be separated from your partner, okay, in a room, and then we said, Nick and Aaron, okay, and then if we say Nick's not in the room,
And Aaron's not in the room?
yeah, we're proving that Aaron's not in the room. Okay, that's called Janda Mamikpa, okay?
How do you spell that? The da? Is it just D?
It's ZLA. It's right here.
Oh.
I spelled it for you correctly here.
Ma
Janda Mamikpa.
Mami.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now the carving had doom. Okay, I think you should give me like $1 for figuring that out. No, because it's not that common.
$1?
It's not that common. Janda Mamikpa is not that common, and it took me about 10 seconds. Okay. No, it took me a little longer. Okay. This is a traditional discussion of reasons for the absence of things by Choni Lama in another book. And I wanted to read you one of the classic Jandama Mikpe talks so you would remember. Okay. This is a classic Jandama Mikpe talk. Proof of something's absence because the one that's always the partner of it is gone. The proof that Aaron cannot be in the room because Nick is not. Okay, got it?
Yes.
Now, if Nick can't stand somebody, like Stanley, let's say they hate each other and they never stay in the same, they never sit in the same room, okay? Cannot bear to be in the same room. Then I'll say, is Stanley in the room? I say, no, because Nick is in the room. That's Gyeongdam Mikpa. Okay, they're both reasons why something's not there. They're both reasons why something's not there. But one is because something else is there, and the other is something because something else is not there. Okay, so here we go. Dungi Shidya Chechen. This is a really classic Chechen. Take the place right in front of me, right here. Okay, so forget the word she and don't worry about it. It means take this spot right here, right in front of Geshe Marco. Okay, right here. Shasa Kelden the Summer Kazaki Gila Deng Epe Cheshe Dintin Mete. Okay, we had Cheshe downstairs. We said it's wise.
Memory.
Yeah, recollection. Recollection.
Is it the same thing with memory? Recollection?
It's close. It's very close. Yeah,
Oh,
It's fancy.
almost the same. Little
but
bit.
more correct is recollection.
For Cheshe, because I like, sometimes you choose a second English word for a Tibetan word because there's a first Tibetan word for memory, which is called Temba. So Temba is very common, Smrti. Very, very common. So we kind of reserve that for memory.
Okay.
And for Cheshe, we want to use recollection. Okay, it's just because there's two Tibetan words.
Same
Cheshe
meaning,
is less common,
richer flavor.
much less common. So recollection is
Because it's less common in English.
less common in English. So you choose a less common word that kind of means
That's
memory. Okay. Okay. There's no Cheshe. Of a day. Okay. There's no Cheshe which perceives. This Ngepa means perceives. Okay.
Oh.
It's not an adjective, it's a verb. Okay? Vinishchaya, something like that. Alright? There's no recollection where a person perceives that. That here happens to refer back to here, shasa.
Meat to eat.
Pishitsa.
What kind of pizza?
Pishitsa. Meat eater.
Yeah, a meat eater.
And this is a scriptural word for a preta.
Oh.
It's a synonym for a preta. Okay? Yida. Okay? Pishitsa umata abishmara. It's in the Vajrayana. Abhimara Vajrayana. Okay, anyway. When you do this, good. Abhimara. We call Abhimara, but it's Abhipishma. It's Abhishma Tsara. Anyway, it means meat eater, and it's a synonym for preta. Okay, so pretas are not visible to normal people. Okay, that you have to, you know that. There could be pretas in this room. We don't know. Okay, now, Gelden means almost like kokir.
Hidden.
Okay, it's a logic term. You won't see it anywhere else. It's part of the logic vocabulary, and you won't. It means like kokir. Okay, kel dun the song, which it means has gone into being an object which is hidden to normal person, or kelwa can mean doubt, something they can't be sure about. Okay, you can say invisible to a normal person. Okay, invisible to a normal person. So a person for whom a preta is normally invisible could not have in their mind a recollection of having seen one yesterday. Okay. If this person is a person who cannot see pretas, okay, then could they have in their mind a memory, a recollection of seeing one yesterday? No. Okay. All right. Which means, if you have a recollection of having seen a preta yesterday, it means yesterday you must have had a sema, you must have had a pramana of a preta. Okay, so these are delda.
Relationship pair.
These are relationship pair. They are like Nick and Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay, if in a human being's being there's no original perception of a preta, there cannot be a recollection of the preta that they saw with their sema, with their pramana. Okay, these are deldas. There's two kinds of deldas if you really want to know,
Positive and negative.
because there's two kinds of delas.
Right.
Oh, okay. Identity or causation.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll explain it.
There's two kinds of relationships between things in the universe. One is cause and effect, and one is to be. Is to be.
To be one and
Okay.
to be the other.
Like car and Toyota. Car didn't cause Toyota. Car and Toyota exist together. Okay, they have a relationship. If you're a Toyota, you're a car. They have we call it a one-way relationship. If you're a Toyota, you are a car. If you're a car, you're not necessarily Toyota. It's a one-way relationship.
The causal would be like fire and smoke.
Yeah. Or it would be like the original perception of a preta and tomorrow's recollection of a preta.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, the next day's recollection of a preta. Okay, got it? So that's a delda mamikpa. Okay? The mamikpa part means there is not present in that person's mind stream a recollection. I'm sorry.
A valid perception.
An original.
Yeah, an original valid perception of a preta. Since there isn't that, they can't have a memory of having seen it. Okay, they can't say the next day I remember seeing it yesterday.